Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. New documents in the Moscow murder case coming to light tonight. A judge unsealed a motion yesterday where the prosecution is asking the court to prohibit the defense from contacting potential jurors without permission. The judge hasn't made a decision yet. Now, this comes just weeks after a heated hearing between prosecutors and Brian Kohberger's defense team. Prosecutors argued the defense violated a gag order after a trial consultant they hired asked questions of potential jurors in Latah County. Prosecutors told the judge those questions could, quote, poison the potential jury pool. Kohberger is charged with the murder of 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. He could face the death penalty if convicted. Also new tonight, stickers from the white supremacist group Patriot Front were found in downtown Wallace today. According to the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office, the individuals responsible for the stickers were cited and later released on a misdemeanor. Now, you may remember the arrest of 31 members of Patriot Front in Coeur d'Alene back in 2022. Police found them in the back of a U-Haul during a pride event at a local park. Those members were carrying homemade riot shields and smoke grenades. They were all charged with conspiracy to riot. And staying in Shoshone County now, deputies say they responded to reports of a drowning fisherman near Bumblebee on the Coeur d'Alene River. Deputies say they used drones, divers, and jet skis to try to locate the missing person. So far, no one has been found. The search continues tonight. Meanwhile, tense moments today at the Spokane Convention Center after the Washington State Republican Party announced they will not be endorsing a candidate for governor. Now, one of the candidates pulling his name out of consideration for party endorsement.
So out of respect for you, the grassroots voters, and the candidates, the committee has voted to pull the governor's race from the ballots, and we will not be endorsing a governor at this convention.
Boos rang out at the Washington GOP convention in Spokane after the party's vice chair announced they will not be endorsing a candidate for governor. Many of those boos came from supporters for gubernatorial candidate Semi Bird, disappointed with the party's decision. This comes after the Seattle Times earlier this week reported Bird pleaded guilty back in 1993 to bank larceny for lying on a credit application. KREM 2 spoke with Bird Friday evening.
They held a secret meeting last night and said I was no longer qualified based on a background investigation that I had just passed just a couple days ago.
Meanwhile, the GOP frontrunner for Washington governor and former King County Sheriff Dave Reichert says he no longer wants the endorsement of his own party. Reichert says he was told his opponent would be disqualified, but then they changed their minds. He says the whole convention's been chaotic, dishonest, and unfair, so he decided to no longer seek the backing of the state GOP.
At some point, you have to make a decision to say this is crazy. This is not a process that's fair.
To be clear, Reichert is still running for governor as a Republican. We reached out to Washington GOP Chair Jim Walsh for a statement. He told us, quote, as we've been saying for months, the 2024 WA GOP state convention is a real convention, unscripted and unpredictable. It's the voice of the delegates. They are in charge. They set the rules, they amend the rules, and they make the decisions. Some people love the rough and tumble of politics, some don't. Our goal is to win in November. The convention wraps up Saturday when the delegates endorse their candidates. After that's the primary in August, where voters will choose which candidates advance to November's general election. Let's go now to Nightbeat for a quick look at the day's top stories. The sounds of gunshots sent a father and son running. It came from nearby Shadle Park High School's parking lot. That's where Spokane police shot a man who they say had a gun on the school's campus. Around 4:30 p.m. yesterday, Spokane police say a man fired his gun at a tow truck before running away. Then around 6:10 p.m., police found the man near the high school. According to police, about 5 minutes later, 3 officers fired shots, hitting the man multiple times. An ambulance took the suspect to a hospital for life-threatening injuries. He's now expected to recover. One woman who lives nearby the school said she heard the shots loud and clear.
Pretty nerve-wracking to think this was happening within, 50 yards of a pile of teenagers. And then I was, of course, thinking about from a parent standpoint, what would I have done if my daughter was out there?
Spokane Public Schools told KREM 2 class went on as normal today. SPS says Shadle Park had extra counselors on hand for any students affected by the shooting. Tonight, newly obtained court documents give us a better idea of what happened the night a woman allegedly killed her ex-boyfriend in Meade. 37-year-old Cynthia Khalil faces murder and burglary charges. According to court documents, Khalil violated a domestic violence protection order when she allegedly entered 40-year-old Justin Daniels' home. Court documents show Daniel and Khalil were going through a custody battle over their 3-year-old daughter. Court records also show Khalil showed up at her stepfather's home covered in blood, saying she was stabbed. The court documents show Daniel suffered nearly 50 stab wounds and 3 gunshot wounds. Khalil's booked in the Spokane County Jail on a $2 million bond. And right now we're working to learn more about a man hit by a train near downtown Spokane today. According to Spokane police, he was hit near 7th Avenue and Cannon Street. Police say the man had been lying down between the tracks, and as the train got closer, he stood up and walked in front of the train. They're currently investigating tonight. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website, KREM.com. In the meantime, let's shift gears right now to take a first look at our forecast tonight with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagoud joining us now with more.
We're waking up to a chilly Saturday morning, but it looks almost identical to what we woke up to early Friday. Temperatures down in the 30s across much of the region, upper 30s out in central Washington. All in all, not looking too bad, but it's sunny and breezy. As we move through the day on Saturday, what winds up happening is the breeze dies down and the sunshine dominates. That takes us into an absolutely beautiful Saturday afternoon. We'll see a little bit of high atmospheric cloud cover later in the day. That precedes a round of showers moving in Saturday night. That round of showers is going to be in the middle of the night. Not a big contender when it comes to weather on either Saturday or Sunday. The big one is going to be that Sunday we wind up getting a breeze moving back in. That breeze eerily similar to what we saw during the day today. 65 Saturday, rain overnight, 57 on Sunday, and then Monday we turn the corner back toward a warmer weather pattern.
Jeremy, thank you so much. In the meantime, let's take a look at Capitol Hill tonight. Today, the House voted to advance the passage of $95 billion in foreign aid. House Democrats helped Republicans pass the procedural vote. The foreign aid package also contains the TikTok ban, sanctions on Iran, and bills to seize Russian assets to help Ukraine. The package of bills now moves on to the Senate. Tensions are high in the Middle East tonight following an Israeli strike on Iran. The development came nearly a week after Iran fired hundreds of missiles at Israel in response to Israel's deadly strike on an Iranian embassy in Syria. Speaking from the G7 meeting in Italy, Secretary of State Antony Blinken affirmed support for Israel, but stressed the U.S. played no role in Israel's limited strike against Iran.
The United States has not been involved in any offensive operations. What we're focused on, what the G7 is focused on, and again, it's reflected in our statement and in our conversation, is our work to de-escalate tensions.
Iran's nuclear sites were not damaged in Friday's strike. Iranian officials say there were no casualties. Well, tomorrow marks 25 years since the devastating Columbine High School shooting in Littleton, Colorado. 12 students and 1 teacher were killed when a pair of students opened fire in what became one of the most high-profile mass shootings in American history. The American Academy of Pediatrics says there have been more school shootings in the U.S. in the past 5 years than the 20 years prior. Zach Cartea and his sister survived the massacre at Columbine. He's troubled by the lack of political courage to do something that would make a difference.
There's also just kind of a general frustration that I have overall that this continues to happen. You know, at 25 years later, this just keeps happening, even though 25 years ago, collectively as a nation, we screamed never again. And that's sort of hard to overcome.
Cartea co-founded the Rebels Project, a nonprofit offering support to survivors of mass shootings and mass trauma. According to the Sandy Hook Promise, 338,000 students have experienced gun violence at school since Columbine. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.